Hello and good evening. Welcome back to the Competitive Speed Series. Good evening, my name is Frostbreath and I welcome you to the penultimate round of the PC F1 series. Tonight, round 9, we are heading to Japan, as you can see right now on the calendar. We've had Qatar last week, we had Austria the week before, some brilliant races. Unfortunately, a bit of a dark cloud has been raised over both of those races and several others, as we've had another cheater, and the cheater had to be banned once more. It's a little disappointing to see the PC community being this enthusiastic about cheats. Just don't do it, because it's a shame, especially for the team that you're racing for. Yeah, I won't waste much more words on that, but yeah, just don't do it, please. It's just not worth it, not necessary, it's just sad. Anyway, round 9 in Japan on Suzuka. As somebody said in the chat, I believe that was John. All hail the racetrack. And that is completely true. This track, of course, famous for many, many reasons. Overtaking here is a challenge, but that doesn't take away the fact that this is a very nice racetrack to watch. The S-curves, 130R, of course. And then the single overtaking opportunity on the main straight. It's also the single location with DRS. The standings then, they've been changed quite a lot since the ban took place. Right now we have Team OP still in the lead. With a whopping 292 points. It's a little bit difficult for me to see on the screen right here. NLR is 48 points behind, followed by WR and GRS, equal on points right now with 59 points behind the leader. All four of these teams still have a technical chance of the championship. ABS is out, unfortunately, after the changes that happened to the points. Also, that means if OP can outscore NLR by at least 21 points, I think 20 even should be enough, they will be crowned champion tonight. Of course, that is quite the challenge, since 15 out of the 20 drivers will get the points here tonight. Don't forget, there's 35 points for P1, 30 points for second place. And then there's also 2 points for pole and 1 point for the fastest lap, meaning that you can gain 68 points per round. So it should be fine for OP to at least beat ABS tonight. That's almost a guarantee. Then, NLR, WR, GRS still are pretty much in for the title fight. And yeah, it's going to be interesting. ABS can still win, yeah. I know. I'm just saying that if they outscore NLR by 20 points or more, they'll be 69 points behind at the very least for the final round, meaning that they are unbeatable by that point. So yeah, 136 points in total still on the board, which is extremely unlikely to be closed tonight, that gap obviously. But we'll see, you never really know. Surprises have happened in the past, good and bad surprises, both ways does it go. Before we go though, let's have a little look at the lineup coming up for tonight's race. For Team ETE, we have Bailey Yeterson. Very interesting name. The second name is currently missing. I believe it was Istvan Tamashi, but he's currently not in the lobby anymore. Saw him a moment ago. The second team, we have once again Luke Mills returning for GRS. He'll be teaming alongside the good old partner of his, Kurt Thylum. Two very familiar names for the team. Their consistency has caused their current 4th position and their tie with WR at the moment. Third team tonight is Team GS, Tom24 alongside Gutti Balint in the Aston Martin. Then for NLR we have Raymond de Niet and Ake Pulkinen, a new name here in the NLR team. First time out for him tonight in the Haas car. ABS. I can see Noé Grosjean. The second car hasn't been taken yet. I can't see who is currently driving, I believe. Let me actually have a look at the lineup. It's Giovanni Lanzoni, another new name for the ABS team joining tonight. As I said before, they do have a very small fighting chance for this championship It is slightly unlikely though. Then for the OP team, we have Nando Moreira and Valentino Labella. We've seen in the past that they are two very quick drivers, so the team is going to make a tough challenge to the others to try and beat them. That is going to be interesting to watch. For WOR, we have Justin Arts and Junej Dovjan. Of course, familiar names for the team once again. Then for ERT, we have Timo Geurts. We also have Lapland joining in the Alfa Romeo cars. For FFC, we have Raul Reyes and Aaron Raminguez in the Mercedes. And the new team joining the grid, replacing Spark at last, is TTM with Scissors and Baumatio. And I see ABS actually has found another replacement. Instead of Giovanni Lanzoni, we have Linus Donovan joining the second Ferrari. So a full grid after a little bit of a gap with both Alpine cars gone. Of course, we had another team trying to join last week. Fortunately, they were not able to due to some misinterpretation of the rules. Let's just put it like that. So now TTM is in, they are taking those light blue cars and we are on our way right now for the penultimate round. 5 teams in the fight, 4 teams that are still in a reasonably close fight. And it's I'm looking forward to what is going to happen. Double qualifying ban, I've just been updated in the chat. A double qualifying ban for ABS. Meaning that neither driver is going to come out on track tonight, which is going to hamper their ability to challenge OP for the title even further. I think their best hope, to be fair and to be reasonable, is second place in the standings, which is a lot closer to them than first. 48 points between first and second, 104 points between OP and ABS, 59 points between the leader and GRS/WR. So, here we go. Let me know in the chat who you think is going to be on pole position. Once again, neither ABS driver can be on that position tonight due to their double QB. Let's see then. Actually, let me turn this one off. We're right now watching right in the face of one of the stewards in front over here. Or the marshals, I should say. He's just having a good time right there, just chilling out. Do keep in mind 18 minutes and a restart will be required if there's a grid penalty handed out. We've seen that happen in the past few rounds, so it's not that uncommon. As one of the Haas cars just flies out of the pit lane there. A lot of smoke along with it. They're very eager to get going. Of course, NLR, the closest team to the championship leader OP at the moment. They will have to put in a mega performance, but it's going to be a big mountain to climb, I'm afraid. Since OP has brought 2 very strong drivers. But do not underestimate Raymond nor the other driver of their team in the name of Ake Pulkkinen. Although, to be honest, I haven't seen him out on track. You never know how quick this man can be. If he can take the challenge to OP, that's already a big win for the team. As you can see, Linus and Noe have retired in the pit lane already. You will not see any Ferraris on track here in qualifying tonight. The rest, though, is starting to prepare for the laps. One of the Mercedes cars actually headed out first. We've seen that quite a lot this season. The FFC car is very eager to get going early. This time it's Aaron Raminguez, who is out on track as his teammate actually has retired as well. I'm just wondering then if there's another qualifying ban. Can't really watch it right now. Or maybe there's another reason why he has retired. Either way, there's no Ferraris and just 1 Mercedes. Thank you for confirming in the chat. 1 qualifying ban for FFC. Meaning that is actually correct that he retired in the pit lane. Let's see. Who is the man to watch tonight? Justin Arts is right over here. But the first man who will be going across the line is Aaron Raminguez, as he'll be waving to his teammate as he comes past the pit box on the main straight. His hot lap having started right now. So let's see what he will be doing. The first 2 corners, of course, you can brake quite late here. But with this point is where you go back to 4th gear, more or less. Some drives try to go down 1 gear or stay in 5th gear even. But then the S's, of course, many corners, 5 to be precise. Right behind one another. Let's see how he goes through there. Nice and easy does it. A stable car. That's what it looks like for the FFC team, for Aaron at least. And the first sector is a 30.9. The next car to follow through, I believe, is Tom 24. As we see the first prediction come in with Nando Pole. 31.169 I should say, which is about 2/10 slower than Aaron Dominguez was through the first sector. So we're switching back to the Mercedes as he approaches the spoon curve. Turns 13 and 14 flat out through here, then back to the brakes you go. From the outside to the inside. Oh! We're nearly losing the car there. That was very, very nearly a goner for him. And that would have meant 2 Mercedes out of the competition tonight. At least in qualifying. But that was not a brilliant corner from him. And a 1 minute 11.207. Let's see if Tom can beat that. 10.1. Look at that. How much time Aaron has lost through the middle sector. He was 2/10 up. Tom in the first one, and lost a lot in the second sector, meaning that the first time to be set tonight is a 27.790 by Aaron himself. Across the line goes Tom, as you can see, more than a second faster with a 26.689. To be precise, he was 1 second and 1 millisecond quicker than Aaron. Akapukinen, there you go, setting NLR on the front row for the time being with a 26.4. Lapland headed to 3rd place. And there we go, Jernej Dovjan with a 26.3. Next across the line, Krithylum heading to 6th place as Justin Arts, the other WR car, heads into 3rd place. So let's watch the OP cars as they are the guys to watch. We have Valentino Labella, he just headed through 130R, going through the chicane now and headed to the line. DRS open at this point, pretty much right here. Across the line, 25.9. The lap times are tumbling quite quickly there, and we once again see an OP car on the front row. So let's see where the other OP car is. Nando Moreira at 30.943 in the first sector. What's he going to be in the second one then? PSF1 pole already been beaten, and we are just at the start of qualifying actually, so that is interesting. Almost everybody's already set a lap time as Barmatillo comes across the line, 29.8. Sure, he's made a mistake somewhere, because that is way off par. And there we go, front row lockout for the time being with Nando Moreira headed to a 26.213. And there you have it. Once again, the outplayed racing team is showing their strength, flexing their muscles in the AlphaTauri car. 2 very strong qualifying performances, but it's not over yet. We see that Jernej Dovjan at least is reasonably close to Nando Moreira's time. Akapulkinen not too far behind either. Justin Arts slightly behind that. Guti Balint is pretty quick tonight as well. And I don't think you should count out Raymond or Tom either. And maybe we'll see a surprise from any of the other drivers, especially, of course, I think we haven't seen the best of Barmatillo, his teammate, currently in 10th place. 26.9, about a second behind Valentino Labella for Scissors. So not the debut that Barmatillo would like to set here. And it looks like actually he's still going. 2.6 seconds quicker. Yep, he's recharged the battery. That's one of the reasons why his lap time was slower. Whoa, drifting through the chicane. Very enthusiastic. Does he go back in the pit lane then? Yes, he does. Yeah, wants to go out quickly again. He did get that tow from his teammate, which kind of suggested that he was still on a hot lap, but now his teammate has to wait. Not sure what they decided to discuss there. So you watch Krithylum, who has already set a 27.4. Once again, GRS showing that they are not the best qualifiers, but during the race, as usual, we'll see them coming through the field. Both of them, I'm certain, will be well in the top 10, unless crazy things happen, and often crazy things happen here in this series, which is nice. Well, most of the times it's nice, actually. So, as it stands, Valentino Labella on provisional pole, with the only driver with a 1 minute 25, then behind him, Nando Moreira, a 26.2, then Jernej Dovjan and Akapulkinen forming the top 4 at the moment, with Justin Arts in 5th and Guti Balint in P6. And already several drivers are headed back out. Akapulkinen, for example. He's the first driver to go for a second attempt as he tries to heat up the tires as much as possible, approaching the hairpin, which is actually neatly called hairpin. The most original name of the entire calendar. Although, to be fair, the first corner is actually called first turn. So, yeah. Not to mention turn 10 on Zandvoort being called turn 10. I guess the track makers just ran out of creativity. Mathynam is still going, interestingly. Done a cooldown lap and back at it again. They're probably thinking that the tires still got some extra life in them. So let's see if Mathynam can improve on these slightly older sets. Slightly older sets, sorry, of tires. I wonder if it's possible. Definitely the throttle flat down over there. Small amounts of traffic to negotiate. No, it's almost a second slower. And the lap has been abandoned for real now. Mathynam headed back into the pit lane. Akapulkinen actually starting his hot lap right over here. 26.422 to beat. If he wants to move up one position, he needs to improve by 1/10 preferably to go to third position and beat the WR driver Janesh Dovjan. It looks like almost everybody is back again on an out lap. Timo Geerts leaving the pit lane right now, currently 9th fastest. But we're watching this man from Finland. I mean, you can't get a much more Finnish name than Akapulkinen, if I'm honest. There we go. 3 milliseconds slower than his first attempt. Well, it's only the first sector. So let's see what he can do then as he goes through hairpin. Which is turn 11 on this track. Needs to find some extra time here. It's not enough through the first sector. Going through Spoon. Watch him go there. Nice and easy does it. No big slides. We've already seen 2 cars being pretty slide happy tonight. There we go. 1.5 quicker at the moment. Purple middle sector. Let's see what he can find through the final one then. He's rapidly approaching his teammate who's about to start his hot lap. Raymond de Niet. Right now 7th fastest. And I think Ak is going to climb a few positions. Where is he going to go? 3rd place. A slight improvement through sector 3 as well. Meaning he beats Janesh Dovjan for the time being. Watching the WR driver Justin Arts, 75 milliseconds quicker in the first sector at the moment. And I'd say that Aaron Raminguez has actually improved. There you go, look at that, that is one heck of an improvement. Whoa, 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 nearly lost the car again. Looks like Spoon is pretty nasty tonight. Aaron fell victim to it, and now Justin as well. That was incredibly tight. Luckily though, his car didn't go into the wall. And he can try again later. Live to see another day, so to say. We see Lapland improve to 9th place. Janesh Dovjan then, who's still on a proper hot lap, has... no, never mind that. Both WR drivers headed back in. So let's see then. Guti Balint at the moment has just started his hot lap, actually improved to P5. Nando Moreira, it's actually Valentino Labella is a bit further ahead and is slightly slower through the middle sector. Let's see if he can find some extra time then through the chicane here. Is he going to be quicker? The car is looking like it's on rails there. There you go, not an improvement. So Nando Moreira then has actually invalidated his lap. Raymond de Niet has come across the line, only a tiny improvement, stays 10th fastest. I think NLR needs more than this, currently 4th and 10th, while OP are 1st and 3rd, being split by this man with a surprisingly quick lap. We haven't seen FFC at the front row that often, and Aaron Raminguez has done a great job in doing so. Watching Timo Geerts, we haven't seen a lot of him this season, but he's back again behind the wheel for the ERT team. Can he climb a bit higher than this? Yes, he can. Once again overtaking his teammate, now going up to P9. Now, let's watch the debut team. Bao Mateo's actually improved already to 12th place. Well, looking at his teammate, currently in the pit lane in P15. I'd say we follow one of them and they go out next. Let's see if we can find anybody still on the hot lap. I believe everybody's pretty much done it. We're watching Bailey Jeterson. Very interesting name. 26.811, 14th fastest. We saw them having a driver last week. Unfortunately, I can't remember the name, which is a shame. Bad on me. They had a brilliantly quick driver last week, but it's neither of these, especially looking at their positions, currently 14th and 16th. I have to find some extra time, and look at this. I don't like Timo being a little slow. Actually, never mind, that's Lapland, who's just headed in. No, it was Nick. Well, I forgot his last name for ETE. Nick. Brilliantly fast, actually fighting for the win. Some really strong pace and some much needed points for ETE to get them off last place, which they are definitely now. Spark is no longer with us. And let's see what TTM can do. Less than 4 minutes remain. Everybody is in the pit lane right now. Timo being the last to join, and already one of the Williams cars. That is actually... no, it's not Kretynum, it's actually Luke Mills, who's the first to head out for their final attempt. GRS on the back foot in qualifying at the moment. 13th and last of the qualifiers at the moment. Of course, not counting those who have a qualifying ban. We'll see Ferrari starting from the back, aka ABS roll race as well. Good news for him is that his teammate, Aaron Ramirez, is doing a fantastic job. He might even have a go at provisional pole tonight. Who knows? He could be the surprise that we weren't expecting here. Nick Bonventre, thank you. Yes, now I remember he had that beautiful French last name. So, everybody's heading out for their last attempt. We see Aaron Ramirez heading out as well. Both OP cars are already on track. Acapulconen and Raimondenit headed out as well. It's NLR versus OP. We also see WOR and GRS in the mix for the title fight still. Where right now it looks like GRS doesn't have the qualifying pace. WOR isn't as quick as they would like, probably. Only P6 and P8. And tonight GS is actually looking quite healthy with Guti Balind and Tom24. Everybody's out on track now. And the first to potentially encounter that traffic is Luke Mills, who's switched teams back and forth from GRS to ABS, back to GRS. He actually hasn't raced for ABS once. And he's back in his familiar blue Williams. There he goes. Last chance to make up some extra positions, as he's the first to come across the line and start his hot lap. Kretynum, his teammate, is right behind, going through the chicane right now on the minimap. Then followed by the ETE team, then both GS cars and one of the WR cars alongside the TTM car. As you can see, headed into the final sector right now. Anyway, Luke Mills through the S's at the moment. Where can he find that extra time? Right now, he is about 7/10 away from pole position, which isn't a lot. And he's a half a tenth quicker through the first sector already, which is potentially promising. Let's see what he can do through the middle one then, as slowly everybody is starting their final attempt. We'll be switching to those who are fighting for provisional pole. I think I see a Red Bull in the mud. Is that Bailey Jeterson? It is Bailey Jeterson. I would almost make a terrible joke about him yeeting it into the wall, but he didn't. But that's his final attempt over, as he now decides to just be an off-roader and go all the way into rallying. Luke Mills then, as he approaches the middle sector, no, he's slowed down. He's gonna try again. His first attempt wasn't satisfying. What is Kretynum doing? The same strategy? I think they are still going. The only ETE car still going for a potential better lap is Van Tamashi. Oh, a bit Oh, a bit unstable through Spoon again. That corner not being very friendly to the cars in terms of grip. No, a lot slower than his previous attempt as well. So let's watch Guti Berlin then through the middle sector. Is he improving? No, a lot slower too. Tom 24, and now time's up. Nobody is able to restart their lap. Look at this, slower as well. And it looks like the track has been devolving. Baumatio is invalidated. What's going on then in Valentina Labelle? Is anybody going to improve tonight? So far, there's been absolutely nobody, unless, what's it? Justin Arts is on his way. No, slower as well. This is strange, very, very strange. Across the line, and no faster whatsoever. Only Valentino is going quicker, about a 10th at the moment. They're going to sharpen their pole position time. What's it gonna be? It's a 1 minute 25.8. Who's got an answer to that? Aaron Raminguez slower through the middle sector. He needs to find a lot more now. Nando Moreira overtaking him for second. Can Aaron call back? No, he can't. He's gonna stay third unless Akapulkinen can say something about it. He needs to find a tiny bit. He can find that tiny bit and starts right behind his the title rivals of Team OP. But he's alone, and actually Jernej Dovjan goes quicker than that as well. 26-0. On third place, and right now WOR with one car in the top 3. Justin Arts only 9th place, but NLR 4th and 11th. Their main rivals have locked out the front row once again. A very strong performance here from Team OP, who are, well, I'd say dominating this track, as they are the only 2 drivers who have gone into the 1 minute 25s. So a very powerful performance. Let's see who... I saw some predictions back up there. Nando is going to be in pole. Well, actually, he is on the front row, but his teammate is on pole, which should be equally good news for Adrian. GG to OP. P1 and 2. Then Jernej Dovjan in 3rd, Akapulkinen in P4, and Raminguez. He'll be slightly disappointed to find himself in P5 after being on the front row for quite some time. Guti Balint in 6th. Luke Mills with a brilliant lap time in 7th place. He'll need that. P8 for Lapland, P9 for Tom24, Justin Arts in P10. Then Timo Geurts in 11th, Raymond de Niet in P12, 2 Dutchmen in the 6th row. Then Baumatio in 13th for his first outing for the TTM team for their first time. Bailey Eterson in 14th. Scissors in P15, Istvan Tamashi P16, and then last for those qualifiers is Krathaidem, quite a lot behind the rest actually. Couldn't find an improvement then, and the last 3 with the qualifying bends starting from the back. The gap has now improved, yes, to 50 points, meaning they are a bit closer once again to the title, Team OP. And no lobby restart, which is nice, meaning we can actually continue straight away. And it's cloudy. Can the weather play a factor here? And I know that several drivers would prefer that, especially the GRS drivers. From what I can remember, they are both quite quick in the rain. So they'll be praying for at least intermediate conditions at some point in the race. Now, we do not know the weather, of course. Only the drivers can see that. So if anybody's watching a driver's stream and could give me an update on what the weather is going to do for them, that would be nice. I'm hoping, personally, that the rain is going to throw this race all around. Potentially could be very good for the championship. And as I told you before, OP can seal it tonight. Right now, they need to outscore at least Team NLR by 18 or 19 points, depending on how many wins they have compared to NLR. The weather will cook. That's a very cryptic description of what the weather might do. But we'll see. No formation lap, keep that one in mind. So we'll be starting straight away. We're waiting for those drivers to pick a strategy. Either starting on hards or mediums is the likely choice. Since tire wear, I believe, is reasonably high here with all those fast corners. Especially the S's and 130R. NLR have 3 wins. Right, so 19 points are needed by Team OP. They need to outscore NLR by 19 points, at least. Let's see if they can do it. OP has 1, yeah. Come to think of it, yeah, they only have 1 win, but they are leading quite healthily. So overall, they have done a better job than NLR. I mean, the points pretty much suggest that one. Let's find out what will happen. OP is locking out the front row tonight. They can claim their second victory then. For the team in white and blue. Looks like it's taking some time to get going here. Let's hope there's no issues with the lobby. Otherwise we'll still need a restart. And also, of course, we'll see what ABS can do from the back of the field. The last row. There we go. The lights are going on already. 5 lights, and let's see if they can claim and keep their front row positions. Looks like a good start for both cars. Jonesh Dovjan trying to attack, but it looks like it's Acapulco who got a better start than Jonesh Dovjan. Easily moves up into 3rd place. Actually, that's what he needs, because now he can challenge the 2 OP cars for that lead. But it looks like Valentino Labella got a nice start. Tom 24 and Lapland fighting for a position. No major incidents just yet. Justin Arts moving up. Never mind, it's Raul Reyes who's been spun out already and gone down to last position. Krathailem has fallen behind both ABS cars. But in the front of the field, it's looking quite safe and quite easy for everybody. Let's have a little look at the tires already. Let's see. Oh, that's interesting. 2 cars started on the softs. That is Acapulco and then Valentino Labella. A bold decision for both of them. As we see Justin Arts fighting Lapland for P8, but Lapland defending nicely there. Tom 24 trying to get intermingled in that fight as well. But he decides to wait behind both of them, seeing what will happen in this fight for that position. Noé Grosjean moving up another position ahead of Scissors from the TTM team. He goes and continuing a charge upwards. Both ABS cars started on the hards. Most drivers actually started on those hards. Luke Mills, one of the drivers who started on the mediums. And there we go. Justin Arts has made the move. Has been quicker through most of the corners and has breezed past Lapland's ERT car up into 8th place. And the other ERT cars, they made a bold move and Tom 24 pushes him off the chicane and Tom has to cut the corner. That gets him a 3-second time penalty. Obviously, that one is probably going to get removed as he was forced out of the corner by Timo Gertz, who's somewhat, I think, given back the position. Now they're all going side by side here. Brilliant fights going on between several cars. It's Raymond Denit versus Baumantillo for 12th position. Raymond is slowly losing out the places. That's not what NLR needs. Acapulco trying to make the most of those soft tires. Valentino Labella doing the same, having created a gap of over a second to his teammates already, meaning Nando Moreira might potentially be vulnerable, although not by long, since Acapulco's soft tires will start to drop off relatively quickly. It's just cloudy, alright. That's a shame. Looks like I accidentally turned off the overlay. Apologies about that one. There you go, it's back on now. Thank you for alerting me to that one. It's back in view right there with our proud sponsor Sim Racing Center. Shouldn't forget that one either. So then, 2 laps almost gone. Valentino Labella has decided to slow down a little bit to allow his teammate back within DRS range, most likely, without putting himself in danger, knowing that he has to pace through the corners, try to keep Acapulco behind. That is crucial in this fight. They right now will be scoring 65 points as opposed to a lot less for Acapulco. And if they can keep these 2 positions, they will be the champion of this season. Plenty of things going on. I believe Tom 24 is re-attacking Timo Gertz. He would like to get back past. He's probably a bit angry with the Dutchman here. Timo Gertz though defending the outside. Tom couldn't go on the inside. Turn 1 is quite tricky to overtake anyway, especially when DRS is not enabled yet. It looks like Tom might potentially have the upper hand in pace, especially through the corners here. Also watching Team GRS, both having started on the mediums. Which is, they're actually the only 2 on the mediums. Everybody else on the hards, of course, Aka and Valentino on the softs. So, some fights on track are shaping up to be. Jonesh Dovjan chasing the top 3, having Aaron Raminguez within 1 second behind him. Luke Mills is keeping up quite well. Justin Arts is on the move, having overtaken Guti Balint already for 7th position, and Timo is still being bothered by Tom. He just can't shake off that Aston Martin. I'd say that Timo is slightly quicker on the straights, where Tom is quicker through the corners. And it's quite tricky to overtake here, so it's a problem for Tom if he can't be quicker on the main straights. He will have DRS now though, so that might put him at an advantage at last. Although, yeah, Timo doesn't have DRS, look at that. He gained some through the final chicane, but it's not enough. So his rear wing will not open, allowing Tom to get slightly closer. But it looks like it's not nearly close enough. In fact, he is barely able to close that gap. He can't even tow himself towards the Alfa Romeo there. It's going to be a challenge for Tom to overtake on a straight and then into a corner. You'll have to hope for a mistake from Timo. Back to the front, we're watching right now Akka Pulkkinen trying to close in as much as he can to Nando Moreira, who's holding second place firmly in his hands at the moment, benefiting from a tow from his teammate. Bailey Eaterson getting the first proper 3-second time penalty as he gets overtaken by his teammate, and I think... Yep, he's off the track. He's gone off the track in qualifying. Now he's off the track again in the race. It's not a very good day for him at the moment. Let's hope he can find some luck. Potentially a safety car could save his race. He's now joining the rear group of Scissors, Roll Race and himself. In the meanwhile, Team ABS is having trouble overtaking cars, as is the nature of this track, which might be troublesome for them. They will also potentially lose sight of the top 3 or top 4 of this championship. Less than ideal for them. They've got a long way to make up. Lap 5 then, and it looks like Janesh Dovjan is going to attack Akka Pulkkinen for 3rd place. Title fight or not, they can still overtake NLR for 2nd in the standings as well. And they would like to do that because P1 through P3 for the teams will grant them a prize, a reward so to say. So only the top 3 can get prizes. That means it's crucial for them to overtake NLR cars tonight. Timo Geurts now fighting with Raymond De Niet for 10th place. 2 Dutchmen at it. Tom has been overtaken by that second Dutchman. Now down to 12th place and being hounded by Baumetio from the TTM team as well. The big fights are happening well down the top 10 at the moment. As the top 5 mostly is staying stable. Janesh had a little bit of a go. Not yet though, he's noticing that Akka Pulkkinen's soft tires are already past their peak, I'm afraid, even though they are barely 5 laps old. If I do sound a bit like I have a cold, it's because I do have a cold. So apology about that one. Thankfully my voice has been cooperating today. So let's hope it keeps up. There we go, Janesh Dovjan before 130R overtakes him. Akka Pulkkinen, after getting a good exit from Spoon, I suppose. So a brilliant move there, and now he's on the rise to challenge for the top 2 as well. And Team OP can't use that, so Nando Moreira will have to make the move on his teammate. Janesh Dovjan can try place an attack as well. There you go! Valentino Lobella lost 2 positions at once, as his soft tires are past their peak as well. Of course, Nando Moreira was just getting led past. But he would have tried and defend against Janesh Dovjan. Not much use though, as now those tires, those hard tires, are appearing to be better already than those on the softs. The top 7 still within 1 second. Guti Balint is not able to keep up. Lapland is in a league of his own as well in P9. Raymond De Niet has gone past Timo Geurts. Tom 24 once again fighting with the Dutchman in the Alfa Romeo. They just can't seem to leave one another alone. They are heading into the hairpin right here. Nice and easy does it. Baumeteo is sticking with them as well. Team ABS still hanging around in 16th and 17th only. They're just outside the points right now. And now we have the fight for the lead between 2 different cars. Now it's Nando Moreira versus Janesh Dovjan. And Janesh is on the roll. He's got brilliant race pace on this track. And he's waiting patiently behind the OP car. Is he going to go for a dive in the chicane? No, he isn't. There was the DRS detection point. That's what he needed. If he can get a good exit out the final corner, and he can, he might challenge for the lead right now. Is the attack coming on already? Let's see what Janesh Dovjan can do as he goes side by side with Nando Moreira into the lead. The WR driver goes as he heads into turn 1. Nice and easy, safe and sound. WR now leads the Japanese Grand Prix. And that is bad news for NLR. And yes, they've only joined since round 2. They've had a fantastic season, but they would like to challenge for more. Now with Raymond in 10th and Akepulkin only in 4th position, and the soft tires slowly starting to die out. It is going to be a challenge to keep up the big points tonight, I'm afraid. They not only see the title slip from their hands into OPs, they also see the hot breath of WR and GRS edging closer. Luke Mills is currently in P6, although Krathainem is out of the points right now. Looks like something happened there. It's now that I see Linus Donovan and Noé Grosjean in P15 and 16 and trying to find out. I think it's Scissors fallen behind. No, never mind. It's Krathainem has been overtaken by both ABS cars as they both move up one place. Now there's one ABS car in the points, which is not nearly enough. They've had a rough week behind them. Let's not forget that. Having a look once again now, the other ERT car, Lapland, right there. And the Moreira, can he place an attack into turn 1? No, he's waiting behind Jernej. Looks like Jernej can't shake them off yet, and Raymond Denit has gone past Lapland. Timo Geurts is also having trouble, trying to keep Tom 24 behind. There you go, he's able to keep the Aston Martin at bay for now. Raymond Denit up into 9th place, he's got a 2.4 second gap to the next car of Guti Balint. Plenty of on-track battles happening at the moment, despite the nature of this track, and we like to see that. Istvan Tamashi, we're watching here as his teammate Bailey Yeterson is just having an even worse day. I believe he was slowly catching up to the 2 cars ahead. He will definitely need a safety car right now to stay in the race. Looks like Timo and Lapland have switched positions. Timo now ahead of his teammate, and Lapland immediately in trouble as he's got Tom 24 behind. I believe I see Bao Mateo tumbling out of the points as well. So far, TTM is not having the greatest of debuts on track. 17th and 18th. They will need a bit of luck as well, I'd say. Back to the front then. Let's see. Can Nando Moreira attack this time? Ooh, he's getting not so good exit out of the chicane. A gap of 4/10. Is it going to be enough for Janesh? He's got Valentina Labella really close behind. Now Valentina is not going to attack, of course. Nando Moreira just closing the gap to Janesh, saving battery. That's another thing, of course. ZRS is should be used quite sparingly on this track. Just from my own experience, it's pretty difficult to recover. Lapland back ahead of Timo Geurts, and we see Bailey Yeterson retiring in the pit lane. Enough is enough, he says, as we see Timo Geurts' battery light flashing already. So the UT teammates switching positions back and forth. We see Lapland going a bit wide there. And now Timo's got a whole slew of cars behind him, including both ABS cars. Well, one of the ABS cars going for a massive dive, and Istvan Tamashi. He's actually got caught out so badly that he loses both positions to both ABS cars and is down to 15, but he's going to try and claw it back. He's not happy with that move. The dive bomb that Linus Donovan made on him is not appreciated as he moves back ahead of Noé Grosjean. Looks like at least he could take that position back, but now he's still behind the man who dive bombed him. Whether that move was fair or not, that will be up to the FIA to decide. Well, but Istvan Tamashi has gone feisty now. Noé Grosjean tries to fight back. Istvan is still on his inside. They head both into the chicane side by side. Somehow, both cars remain on the track. And now Noé Grosjean is in trouble from Krathainen's Williams as they move closer into contact there. And once again, Noé Grosjean appears to be the faster man. Krathainen, though, takes both of them into turn 1. Brilliant move by the GRS driver to go up into 14th place. The fight for the last few points is definitely on, and they come into contact and crashes in the wall. Krathainen is out as Noé Grosjean and Krathainen come together out of turn 3. And that is the end for Krathainen's race after a brilliant move overtaking 2 cars. The race is over. Noe is still somewhere. There he is. The car looks to be okay, but there might be some damage to the front wing as he tapped the rear of the GRS car, crashing Krothailem out of the race. And that is the safety car that some drivers needed, but others definitely didn't. I think Valentino and Ake will be very happy, as by this point their soft tires were starting to look pretty bad. Krothailem and Noe Grosjean coming together. Obviously unintentionally, but a first fight was happening there, as I said. A heavy fight for the last bit of points. Turned out to be a bit too much for one of the cars. And now the big question is, what will the top drivers do in terms of pit stops? They can also go switch to the mediums and potentially switch to another set of mediums if another safety car comes out very soon. But I'd say that potentially the mediums can last until the end, depending on how well they keep their tires alive. So, perfect opportunity for Valentino and Ake here to go on equal tires now that the softs are dead. And we might see some switches all over the place as he's getting a bit of lag there, but still in 3rd place. And of course, with the double pit stop, Valentino Labella has been demoted to 7th place. Luke Mills, in between the mess, the only driver on the hard tires right now. Now, I'd say 17 laps is a long shot for those medium tires, which will likely be 15 laps when the safety car comes back in. So by the end, potentially, Luke Mills might have the upper hand. You never know. Although it's going to be a struggle for the first 5 to 8 laps, I'd say. Let's find out what he can do. The only driver on the hards, Noe Grosjean, for some reason has gone for the softs. I'd say he goes on these tires, then goes back in to switch to the mediums to keep them 1 lap fresher, which is a perfectly valid strategy. Yep, OP double stack as I mentioned. Valentino Labella now down to 7th place. Can he claw back that 1-2 for the team? Dinesh Devjan is still leading. Nando Moreira behind. Ake has been promoted to 3rd place thanks to the OP double stack. Aaron Raminguez is now in 4th place. Luke Mills, the only hard tire driver, is now in 5th place. Justin Arts in P6. Valentin Labella in 7th. Guti Bellint in P8. Lapland in 9th. And Raymond de Niet in P10. Linus Donovan, now the lead ABS driver in P12. And yes, you're absolutely right, Jack. He's going to have a few difficult laps, but I'd say he can claw it back by the end. It's difficult to overtake here, so if he can defend heavily, he might at least hang on to 5th place and then attack by the end. It's gonna be interesting nonetheless. 18 drivers remain. 1 retired in the pit lane. Had he waited a little bit longer, then he could have had another shot at points, but I think he realized that today was not his day, and Bailey Yeterson is out. Krothailem crashed in the wall by Noe Grosjean. There's no other way of saying it, and so for some reason Noe has decided to stay out on those softs. I doubt they're going to last 15 laps, so I think Noe is expecting another safety car. I'm not sure if he can look into the future, but if there's not going to be a safety car, he's going to be in trouble. I think he's got this mentality of, I've got nothing to lose anyway. I'm last. And every position I can gain is a win. Another safety car is definitely a win. If not, then I at least will not lose any positions. That's the best guess I can have. Is his thought right now. Safety car will more than likely come in by the end of this lap, which means we'll be having 15 laps of racing remaining. Can the mediums last? Those hards will definitely last. The softs of Noe Grosjean are going to be an issue. after about 5 or 6 laps. Especially now that he's only one compound and softer than the other tires, except for Luke's. We see Tom 24 still with that 3-second time penalty he gained by having to cut the corner because of coming together with Timo Geurts. Incidentally, Timo is behind him right now, so he'll probably be happy about that one. There we go, safety car in this lap. Jernej Dovjan for WR leading the field. He's got Nando Moreira behind on equal tires. Everybody on the medium except Luke and Noe. How is this going to turn out? Will there be another safety car, in which case we might see a lot of switching to the soft tires? And Jernej, is he already going for it? No, he's waiting a bit longer. This is the moment where he decides to go, and it's the perfect opportunity, already creating a fairly big gap, 6.5 tenths. Acapulco was much more awake, but he can't do enough to challenge Nando Moreira for second place. But right now, it's what they need with one OP car down to 7th. Raymond de Niet only 2 positions behind. Luke Mills on his hard tire is already in trouble as he sees Justin Aerts approaching very closely now. Through the S's. Of course, the WR car has got much more grip than the GRS car. Restart has actually gone through quite peacefully. No big moves, no incidents. And Luke Mills having to defend for his life to keep the hopes of second place in the standings alive. I think the title is going to be a challenge, unless of course they can do something brilliant tonight. But with Krathaidam out, I'd say GRS's hopes are almost 0 right now. Tom 24 fighting with Lapland. I think Lapland's had a bit of a lag spike as he's ghosted at the moment through Tom's car. Now they're fighting within each other. How often can you say that as a commentator? Tom is just marginally ahead, and Lapland now is behind the car properly and no longer ghosted. I hope he has that in mind, as Timo Geurts is under threat from Baumatio. Can he keep the TTM car behind? Oh, I think I saw a bit of front wing there flying off Noé Grosjean's car. Definitely then. Yep. His day has gotten even worse. He's gonna have to go for another front wing and a opportunity to ditch his soft tires, although not the way you would have liked. Some coming together then from several cars. We see Linus Donovan on a roll up to 10th place already. He's got to... Oh my goodness, there is a clash! There is a big clash of Tom 24 and Timo Geurts again coming together. These two are not friends tonight. Timo Geurts side-swiping Tom 24. Now they've both fallen behind. The FIA is going to have a field day with the two of them, I'm afraid. Jernej Dovjan leading the race. He's just managed to get Nando Moreira outside of DRS range, which could be crucial for this race. If he can't do it, then he's going to have to fight hard, as Nando has definitely got pace. Acapulco staying with them as well. Luke Mills is still hanging on to P5, but for how long? He needs to wait another full lap until he can actually benefit from DRS, and the gap is already up to almost 9/10 of a second. Make it 9/10 of a second there. And if he can't keep it up, then he will definitely see Justin Aerts going past on those quicker mediums. Justin has to make the most of it. GRS is their main rival in the standings. They're equal on points. They've been very close together on points for the entire season already. And now DRS has been enabled. In the meanwhile, the two best friends, Timo and Tom, are in the back of the field. Timo is forced to pit, as he has actually been shoveling Tom. Oh dearie me, what's happened to Tom then? He's in the wall. Those two are not having a great day, let's just keep it at that. The battery light of Jernej Dovjan's car is flashing, but he's managed to do it. Nando Moreira is out of DRS range, but his battery light is still off, meaning that at least Nando's got more battery later down the line. Now the question is, has he got the pace to keep it up? We have another yellow flag. Not sure why that one was. Maybe for scissors. He's fallen behind the field. Timo Geurts exiting pit lane behind Noé Grosjean. Luke Mills has lost DRS, although he's just on the edge of it, actually. Using all of his battery, he knows it's crucial to get the rear wing open when the main straight comes. He needs to get a good exit here. But his battery is screaming for relief, meaning that on this straight, he's losing it. He will not have DRS, and that means trouble. Although potentially he could just leave Justin past and still get DRS anyway. But there's also Valentino Labella to keep in mind. He's also on a roll. He's down to 7th after the double stack pit stop for the team. And there we go. Justin Arts on the attack mode. Side by side. We also see Valentino Labella go for it. Pushing Luke to the side there and taking both of them. Surprise, surprise, he says. Thank you very much. I'll take both of your positions. Up to P5 I go. And Justin Arts is still in P6. Although he has overtaken Luke Mills now. Jernej Davjan is no longer outside of DRS range. Nando Moreira is edging ever closer. Ake Polkinen, I believe I saw his battery light flashing as well. Yep, there we go. Aaron Dominguez still within the top 3 range. They would like to get a podium here. Would be a very big boost for their team confidence. Raul Reyes currently hanging around in 14th place. The last of those drivers who haven't been involved in an incident, Scissors is right behind him, 3.7 seconds. And then Noe Grosjean and Tom fighting for position, as Tom has lost out quite badly there through the S's. Noe is on the softs again. The question is, can Jernej keep the lead? As he's got very low battery. Nando's got some more at the very least. Ake Polkinen can feel the hot breath of Aaron Dominguez, who has a very strong qualifying, but also has got a flashing battery light. Valentino Labella is connected to the group, and good news for Luke, he's got DRS. So, all he needs to do now is wait until those mediums drop off. And he might be in business. There we go, Linus Donovan moving up another position. That's not good for NLR, who's now got another car down to 10th, and Lapland right behind. Looks like Thomas also fallen behind Timo Geurts. I think he might have thrown in the towel for this race. I'd say Tom is... no, he's actually continuing on, but he's going slow. I think there might be more damage to the car than we can see, as Timo has sideswiped him. There might be damage to the side pods or the floor. But whatever has happened, he's... Look at that, look through the corners, he's incredibly slow. It's almost like the car is glued to the track. It's not great for Tom. He didn't have a bad race whatsoever, he was in a lot of fights. He just was a Timo Geurts magnet, I'm afraid. And I'm not saying that Timo Geurts did anything bad. I'm not even sure what happened when he sideswiped Tom. But they've definitely had their comings together. Jernej still leads, Nando still in second, Ake is still hanging on. Valentino Labella is properly connected to the group, Justin Arts cannot keep up, and now he's got Luke Mills behind, who is now the sole benefiter of that DRS of Justin, who doesn't have it. And just barely missing out on it as well. Tom 24 now spun out in the spoon curve. The notorious curve of tonight. And I'd say Tom's car is very damaged. Whoa, a bit of a mistake there from Justin. Luke saw that, but this is not the place to overtake. Justin is under pressure though. And Luke is going to potentially take that opportunity. He's a bit too far back now to make the move, I'm afraid. 2/10 is a tiny bit too much. Whoa, nearly into the gearbox there with the front of his nose. And there we go, Tom in the pit lane. I'd say that's the end. Unless he wants to go for the fastest lap on soft tires and steal away the point from whoever has it. Speaking of which, let's have a look. Fastest lap right now in Jernej's hands, 28.1. Yeah, Tom is actually going for a pit stop. Luke Mills sees that those medium tires are past their best point at this moment right now. And he knows he can go and attack soon. He also knows that Justin is losing connection to the top 5. That's something he doesn't want, so he would like to get past ASAP. We have a yellow flag. Oh, something has definitely happened. What has happened here? We have a virtual safety car, and I believe Lapland has crashed out of the race in the chicane. We saw Istvan Tamashi switching positions, so they might have come together potentially. Look at that. Yep, a nose change for Istvan Tamashi. New tires, of course, as well. So most likely he's collided with Lapland. And I think, from what at the top of my head, Istvan was behind Lapland. And we might have the case that Lapland has been shoved into the wall by the Red Bull. Whatever it is, it's definitely not the night of ERT or ETE. The virtual safety car has at least neutralized the race for a few seconds. No full safety car, that would have been interesting. And Tom 24 is about to get lapped. He's waiting for the race to get back underway. Jonesh appears to be already back up to speed somewhat. The VSC is still here. There we go. DRS has been re-enabled. The race is underway again. It looks like Jonesh has been caught sleeping. Fernando Moreira is already edging closer and closer. Has he been on the throttle much earlier through 130R? And then the Moreira might be on the move already without DRS, but he doesn't go for it. He plays it safe. If he can get the good exit here, and he needs it, he might go for the move. Thomas retired in the pit lane there. No safety car for that one, of course. But a bad exit by Nando Moreira makes him fall behind a little bit. Acapulco is closer, but it looks like Nando Moreira is edging closer and closer and closer. But he's doing the same as he did when on the first stint before the safety car, and he stays behind Jonesh for the time being. But that virtual safety car might have saved Jonesh's battery quite a bit, but he was not awake when the virtual safety car ended, nearly allowing Nando to attack. Justin Arts, 5-second penalty for ignoring a yellow flag. How on earth did that happen? I think he went for the overtake when the yellow flag was still out on the main straight due to Tom retiring in the pit lane. And now he's in trouble. We might see that penalty get removed though, because the yellow flag there just doesn't make sense. But I'm not the FIA, so we'll see. We're well past the halfway point of the race. We're entering the finale right here on lap 20 out of 27. If you just tuned in, we had an OP 1-2 for some time. Now Jonesh is leading. Valentino Labella has been pushed down to 7th after a double stack. He's back up to 4th. And he has the podium in sight. I mean, Ramingas has been taken by the OP driver. And he's trying to hang on to P5 as Justin gets closer and closer. That 5-second penalty of his is not a certainty. And Justin probably knows it. Luke Mills, despite his tires that should be better now, doesn't seem to be able to get past. Valentino Labella is getting very close to Acapulco, and in fact the entire top 4 is very close together right now. We might see a last lap clash between them all. Linus Donovan goes ahead of Guti Balint up into 8th place. ABS, having fought valiantly, are 99% certain out of the title fight now. And OP is looking very good. When the race is over, I'll be doing the math to see whether they can be crowned champion like this. Unless, of course, somebody in the chat could do that for me. I'm looking at you, Ace. Wink, wink. Hint, hint. If it's Tom retiring, I'm almost certain that this 5-second penalty was because of Tom retiring. Because Justin made an overtaking move, I'd say, on the main straight while Tom was retired in the pit lane. The commentator's name. Well, I'm not Raul Reyes. This is Raul Reyes. You're correct, he doesn't have his prefix, so I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that's a penalty point. Raymond Neat in the meanwhile getting past Bao Mateo, but Bao Mateo would like to cling on. He nearly came back there. Lap 22, 6 laps to go with this one included. Janesh is still leading. It's been a while since they've won a race. WR. They could definitely use this one. So far, Janesh has put up a brilliant performance to keep all of these hungry cars behind, especially Nando Moreira and Valentino Labella. Now, Valentino, of course, having been pushed down a little bit, he's now right behind Ake Pulkkinen, who desperately tries to hang on to the title fight. Whoa! Pushing so hard, he nearly loses out of turn 9. And Valentino saw it. Don't count out Aaron either. I wouldn't be surprised if the top 4 comes together literally at the final few laps to fight for the win. They're all saving their batteries right now, except for Janesh most likely, who has to use the battery to keep them all behind. He's the only driver there not to have DRS. There goes Timo with a 3-second time penalty, although his race is pretty much in the mud anyway. And he spins out. Oh, dearie me. He might become the 5th retirement soon, and the last driver to not finish in the points will be gone then. Five laps remain now. And oh dearie me, what's happened there? Where did Aaron Raminges go? He's gone! His car has disappeared! Where did it go? It's not in the pit lane, it's not in the wall either. Aaron's car has vanished. And I've got no clue what happened. There was a tiny yellow flag. Aaron Raminges has retired, but we've got no idea where his car is. If anybody could try and figure out what on earth happened to him. No way retires in the pit lane. That we can see on the map, but we didn't see him go in the pit lane. We didn't see a yellow flag for him retiring. In fact, then it means his car still should have been there somewhere. But I'm confused. I think we might have witnessed our first alien abduction. Aaron Raminges has mysteriously disappeared. In fact, Nando Moreira and all the commotion has now gone into the lead of the race because I was so distracted. I'm sorry about that one. The fight for the lead is definitely still going. But yeah, Aaron Raminges is gone. And nobody knows where he is. If somebody can contact him, please do. I mean, we would like to know where he is exactly. Anyway, 4 laps to go. There's 14 drivers remaining. And Janesh Dovzhan is on the move. Although he might pull off the same strategy as Nando Moreira. He does. Although it almost seemed that Nando Moreira was almost would like to get him, for him to get ahead. But Janesh just didn't want to go. Mateo back ahead of Raymond de Niet. They're fighting for 9th and 10th place with Raul Reyes just behind. So, Nando Moreira is now the race leader. Ake Pulkkinen is getting closer to Janesh Dovzhan. Valentino Labella is still very close as well. Justin Aerts is now in P5 with the 5-second penalty that is likely to be removed after Aaron Raminges has disappeared mysteriously. Look at this, Valentino Labella around the outside in the hairpin. Can he do it though? No, he goes a bit too wide, but that was a daring move from the LP driver to get back into podium places. He hasn't lost too much by it though. He's still got Justin behind, a little bit closer, but not close enough to go for a proper attack. Valentino could risk it there, but he wasn't successful. He caught Ake Pulkkinen off guard there and made him aware that he's going to attack whenever he can. Janesh staying out of the slipstream. Now he's got no choice to get back in it. Otherwise he'll be having a bad exit, and Nando is almost telling him to just get past. I want the DRS here, thank you very much. But Janesh is having none of it. A good exit is what they need, and I think a good exit is exactly what Valentino has gotten. If he can get past Ake Pulkkinen, he can help his teammates, keeping Janesh Dovzhan at bay. Is he gonna go for it in turn 1? He nearly goes for it, and Ake saw it, and there goes Janesh Dovzhan! Who did he touch? What exactly happened? Suddenly he's tumbled down, and Ake Pulkkinen suddenly finds himself in 2nd place. But the man who was on for a potential win is suddenly gone. Out of the top 4 he tumbles. Did he come together with Nando? Did Aka just punch him from behind by the tiniest bit? Was it Valentino Labella's attack that caused Akapulkinen to go wide and maybe touch Janesh? Nonetheless, there will be an inquiry for sure. We have Istvan Tamashi retiring. Timo's going into the pits as well. He could go for the fastest lap since he's in the points right now. But that was strange. We saw Janesh all of a sudden being ghosted and the other way around. And he fights himself out of victory's contention. And Akapulkinen is not able to keep up the pace. With Nando Moreira, he might lose DRS here. Valentino is outside of DRS range as well. Justin is still within it though. He might save something for the team. But I'm getting this feeling that the standings we'll see tonight will not be the final race results. And that means I will have to hold on my calculations. Or sorry, Ace will have to hold on his calculations for whoever becomes the victor. So, to be continued. A big to be continued with all of these incidents. What happened between Janesh Dovzhan and whoever he touched with? Nando or Aka or maybe even Valentino. They were so close together, it was hard to say. But right now, none of them are within 1 second anymore. So Nando can just drive away. 13 drivers remain. Timo can go for the fastest lap and scrap an extra point with his team. His teammate is out. So, plenty of strange things have happened. Timo and Tom being best friends, quote unquote. Twice, in fact. Krathainen being mashed out of the race by Noé, unintentionally. Lapland crashed. Then Aaron Ramingus disappeared. Just completely gone. And then we saw Janesh spinning out. As it stands, I can see in the chat there OP will win, as no one is within 68 points. Interesting. Even with penalties then, we could safely say that OP is going to be the winner, whatever happens with the stewards. So then the last lap. Unless something crazy happens, Nando Moreira will win the race. Oh, there is Raymond Neitz. He spun round, fighting with Raul Reyes in 130R. And that, I think, seals the championship for sure now with Team OP. We see several overtakes happening as Guti Balint goes ahead of Luke Mills. Luke has not been able to make the most of those hard tires, unfortunately. He's now been moved down to P8. Baumatio has been overtaken by Raul for P10. Nonetheless, at least there's some points for TTM tonight. But it's probably not the debut they would have liked to see, as they realize there's some very quick drivers in the PC tier. Justin Arts and Janesh Dovzhan have sandwiched an OP car, and Janesh Dovzhan wants to get past badly. He pushes Valentino wide. They come together slightly there. Valentino's having absolutely none of it. But Janesh is not going to give in that easily. Will he go for a move and spoon then? It's the only opportunity he's got. He's pushing Valentino Labella through the corner there. He needs a good exit. Can he get it? Has he forced Valentino into a mistake? It looks like he really hasn't done enough. Not a good enough exit. As Justin tries to move Valentino out of slipstream. We shouldn't forget to switch to the leader, but this is a fascinating fight as Janesh Dovzhan tries to go around the outside. Can he make it stick though? He can! He goes back into 4th position as Nando Moreira wins. Arca comes in 2nd place, Justin in 3rd, and Janesh barely... No, he misses out! Of course, that's a penalty, so I'm not sure what the difference between them was. I will, after the race, subtract those 5 seconds. But Janesh now gets 3rd by 83 milliseconds. There you go. Yep, confirming there. Janesh back on the podium. But of course, Justin will get those 5 seconds removed. So I'd say Justin goes for 3rd, Janesh for 4th, and Valentino just barely for P5. But that was a little bit confusing. Sorry about getting a bit too excited there, because it wasn't warranted. Nonetheless, I can now confirm, I guess, with Aces saying so in chat, that OP is the winner of the season in the PC tier. A brilliant season for them, sees them as the victors. especially in the final half of the season. Some very strong performances helped them to claim the title. The fight for second place, though, is still going to be on for sure. Especially between WOR and NLR. And I think GRS isn't out of it either. Linus Donovan, driver of the day. P6 from last on the grid, I believe. Second to last, actually. There you go. Right, that was an interesting race. Timo Geurts got the fastest lap of the race. That's what he wanted. Finished 13th and last. Plenty of DNF drivers here, as you can see. 7 of them haven't finished the race. Neither ETE car finished it, which is bad news for them after a brilliant performance last week. But Nando Moreira wins it. Aken is second, Jernej in third, Valentin Alabello in fourth, Linus Donovan in P. No, I should say Justin in third, then for the time, Jernej in fourth, Valentino in P5, Linus in P6, Guti in P7, then Luke in P8, Baumatio in ninth, Raoul in P10. And of course, your pit stop overview for this race right here. That was the penultimate round. A lot of things have happened, and the big question is, where is Aaron Raminguez? How has he disappeared? What on earth happened? Does anybody have any footage? Because I'm curious to know what exactly happened to him. I'll be sure to ask in the chat afterwards and enlighten you next week. That was very strange. Never seen a car just going out of existence in this game. He's actually still in the lobby. There he is. Righto. Ooh, nearly forgotten to turn on the snow. Shouldn't forget that one. There we go. See if anybody's up for an interview, although to be fair, it's been ages since we've had an interview here, so let's hope for the best. So yeah, OP confirmed champion then, I'd say. Because they've gained a lot of points, whatever positions they finished in. The fight for second place, though, still wide open between WR, GRS and NLR. And now WR can safely say they've had a decently good race. It could have been even better. Surely Janesh will be disappointed. Still wonder who he came into contact with. We'll be keeping an eye out on the incident reports for sure. OP confirmed. I just got a message from Ace. It's 100% confirmed right now. That they have won the championship. But again, it is still anybody's game for second place. And we'll see that finale next week in Abu Dhabi. And we actually do have an interview. It's the man who got the strange 5-second penalty. It's Justin Arts. Welcome to the box here. You probably heard yourself as well. Your 5-second penalty, first and foremost. I said to the viewers that it happened on the main straight because of somebody retiring in the pit lane. Is that correct?
It did.
All right, so that's one. That one is cleared out now. Your race, though, it was quite interesting. You were both very quick tonight. You started somewhere from the midfield, still finished on the podium. How did you feel about that one?
We knew going into this race that what had to be done had to be done. We weren't exactly getting the most luck in the past races. I think we always had one driver in the top 5, but the other one was either getting crashed out or finished 10th or 11th. And today we knew for the finale, we knew what we had to do.
Mm-hmm.
And starting P10, I definitely didn't make it easy for myself, setting a really good banker that I just couldn't beat for some reason. Getting those 3 overtakes in 1 lap had to be done because they turned out to be really slow compared to me. And then the end, I mean, Uranage was, I think, robbed of a win personally because he had the pace for it. But to finish what I think will be probably P2, P3 with the NLR guy getting a penalty, I think that's still a pretty good day at the office, all things considered.
So you say that Janesh got taken out by Acapulcan then?
From what I saw, the NLR guy and the OP guy were fighting side by side and definitely outbroke themselves and went straight into Uranage, who I actually almost collected that last end of my race.
I see. All right, fair enough. So a good day in the office, as you say, for WOR. You're no longer fighting for the title, but there's still second place to fight for between yourself, GRS, and NLR. How do you see your chances for that one?
If we could do something like today in the final race, I think our chances will be pretty good. We've always been super motivated to finish in the top 3, and to be able to do it, I think will be a big step forward for WR.
Right. So next week then, Abu Dhabi. Good track for the team.
Yeah, a lot of our drivers have already been practicing. We already know who's racing in Abu Dhabi for the past 2 weeks. So they've been practicing, so I think it's pretty good so far.
All right, sounds like you're all well prepared. So yeah, congratulations and enjoy your podium.
Thanks.
Righto! That was our one and only interview man tonight. Justin Arts for WOR saying that Janesh was taken out by Acapulcanen apparently, so that one probably will get reported for sure, and maybe some things will change in the standings, but whatever it is, OP is your champion here for the PC tier. And that concludes this broadcast for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us in this brilliant, fascinating race. It's been a really good one. Some very strange things happened though tonight. We'll be trying to find out what happened with Aaron Raminges after his strange disappearance. Thank you for joining here once again. It's been a pleasure as always to provide you with the entertainment you guys deserve here with this brilliant group of drivers. Commentating here has been an honor so far. One more to go before the holidays. I'd say a good morning, afternoon, evening to wherever you are. See you next week for the grand finale for second place in Abu Dhabi. Until then, goodbye.